Are you looking for a way to get clean audio from one device to another? Are you in the process of converting old recordings to newer media options? Like if you're a large vinyl collector or some of the old vinyl, which may be getting very brittle now, you may have only just a couple of shots to get that recorded. If that's your case, stay tuned and I will show you a device that has helped in a number of times. Hi, this is Ron Nutter with another edition of TechBytes with Ron Nutter Product Reviews. Today we're looking at the Whirlwind PodDI one-channel passive direct bot and 3 things you need to know about. If you've never heard of one of these before, please sit through this entire video because you're going to learn quite a bit. If you get value from this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Please look in the description for the URL to use when you get ready to purchase this item. Thing number 1, now this gives you a clean way of converting from a 3.5 millimeter, i.e. 1/8 inch, or RCA connectors to a balanced XLR output for clearer audio recordings. Now here's what's happening. When you take the output of a CD player, okay, the output is going to be amplified, which means it's a line level. The problem you will get into is if you plug that into the mic input of a recorder, you just now plugged a line output into a mic input. So you got a mismatch right there and you're going to have just horrible audio and you're going to have to turn things way down and it may never work right. By converting to a balanced XLR output, this allows you to go to a field recorder essentially, which is what I'm doing. I've got a Deity P4 and this is what I'm going to be moving it to. Thing number 2, it features a ground lift switch to help eliminate hum and buzz. So that's a fancy way of saying if you've got one device that's plugged into AC or both, you can use that ground lift switch to help, if not eliminate, significantly reduce hum and buzz. So you're going to have as good a recording as possible. Thing number 3, the beauty of this is it requires no external power supply, so that's yet one less thing you got to worry about plugging in, and it doesn't require special cables. Now you may have to go get like a 3.5 millimeter to 3.5 millimeter or something like that. There's a variety of combinations, but you don't have to get a special constructed cable, or in the past what I've done is I've had to get a cable when Radio Shack was still around that had a built-in attenuator to knock out that difference between line to mic input. This is where there's some very good positives to this. What the PodDI, and there's another device out there, and this one's going to solve a specific need that I've got. The Whirlwind PodDI takes consumer stereo audio signals like phone, I made a good example, that's a TRRS, laptop or MP3 player via 3.5 millimeter or RCA jacks, and it combines it into left and right channels into a single balanced mono XLR input. Now that's important to note because XLR by its nature is a mono interface. So if you want to preserve a true stereo transfer to get all the signal and sound that you're looking for, you'll have to do this slightly differently where you're going to need two XLR cables, but that's beyond the scope of what we're looking at. Like I said earlier, the PodDI also helps either eliminate or significantly throttle back any ground hum. So if you've got one device that's not grounded correctly or its power supply is a little bit noisy, you see where it's going to go. So this gives you the ability to do that when you're plugging into a soundboard or digital recorder or whatever kind of recorder you got. I've just been using digital for several years. The core functions of this does stereo, what's called stereo to mono summing. It combines a 2-channel stereo track into a single mono output, so you don't have to worry about phase cancellation or damaging the device. It just makes things a little bit simpler. It does the impedance and balance conversion. Now this converts an unbalanced consumer line level into a low impedance balanced microphone level XLR signal for longer cable run. Normally on something like this, I try to have it within a couple of feet, but there's times when that simply is not an option. Another thing the PodDI will do, it has level matching controls. And I've had this happen to where either a recording or wherever you're getting your sound from, the tracks are not in alignment, as far as the channels are not in alignment. And this allows you to individually tweak the left and right inputs so that you can tone down the one that's just way too loud or raise the one that just needs a little bit of a goose. So that makes things a little bit easier for you. And for noise reduction, like I know I keep repeating some of this, but sometimes you have to hear it several times in order for it to start clicking. It has a switchable ground lift to help get rid of unwanted electrical hum and buzz. The XLR connection that's going to come out of this, and it's XLR male, because think of it, it has the pins. If it had just 3 sockets, it would be a female. This is a balanced mono interface, so it's got 2 wires for handling the sound, and the 3rd wire is for the shield, which helps block potential noise issues. So that kind of gets you started. If you want to get into stereo with XLR, like I said, it's going to take 2 cables and 2 separate inputs on the field, whatever recorder you're using. You're going to have to take 2 channels to get a true stereo sound. Most of the times, like stuff that I'm doing on YouTube, that's not really going to matter that much. And especially if I'm coming off a laptop, I'm just not really going to have a good stereo situation. And if you get into some of the digital lines like AES3, it can do some of this over a single XLR cable, but standard analog audio can't. So I know I've hit you quite a bit. Just feel free to repeat this several times. You're going to like the end result. So take a look at this one and think about getting one today. I've used the Whirlwind devices for quite a few years. I remember when I saw my first one, I went, oh, that's an interesting way to fix that problem, not truly understanding at the time what it would do for me many years later. If you get value from this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Please look in the description for the URL to use when purchasing this item. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.